Is it too early to start asking if StarCraft 2 will be at the EWC 2032? Yes, that's way too early. I'd even say it's a bit too early to ask if it's going to be there in 2026, because I would not have the answer to that question. It felt that the expectations were very low in that regard coming into last summer. After the summer, it felt that everybody became a lot more hopeful because there were a lot of people that showed up and showed a lot of love to StarCraft. When you look at how all the games performed, StarCraft wasn't amazing, but it was also not at the bottom of the leaderboard, so I don't know. I generally think that it's not decided yet. EWC was a great success. I don't know if I would go that far. I'd say if StarCraft was in the top 10 of the 24 games that they had, I would call it a great success. StarCraft was like 18th or 19th out of 24 games. So it was okay, great success. I don't think it's 18th. Alright, so we've got Yona. We just don't have Bunny. Is that a mistake on my side, guys? Or does no one have Bunny? I was talking Soul Dark. I was just finishing my thoughts. It's all good. Wadi has Bunny. I kind of want to fix that real quick. I'll do the intros, guys, and I'm going to try to fix it because maybe I did something wrong. Bottom right side of Gresvan, we are looking at the main base of our very own, the great Yona Sotala, BASILISK Serral. The reigning, defending, undisputed 3-time champion of the world. And in the top left side of Gresvan, we are looking at the main base of Falcons Bunny. My favorite Korean player. You have Bunny blocked? Never. I'm going to just recopy, and if that does not work, yeah, then I... Okay, StatFest has a different link. I'll try again. Is this Bunny then? Okay, we're gonna try this. 4th time if you ask Wes. Yeah, Wex. Okay, there we go. It is fixed. So the first link was Busto, the second one works. Here we go. No, you don't crown 2 world champions in 1 year. I know they technically do that like in boxing or in MMA, but that's just different. In StarCraft, we have never done that. So to suddenly start doing that is silly in my opinion. And maybe Serral's on a little holiday. My preview is very tiny, so I cannot quite see the details that you guys can probably see. But I do notice that it looks different. Maybe he's been renovating, guys. Maybe he's in the sauna, I don't know. Historically, if Bunny is a big underdog in series, and I think all of you guys would agree that Bunny is probably a big underdog, he likes to be mega aggressive. Sometimes even go command center first, 2 base all in, or maybe just good old 3 base, 8 Rex. I'd be surprised to see Bunny play a lot of like proper late game. Wow, this is okay. Okay, guys. Double starport at minute 3. Double starport. We've got only Marine so far, no Reaper. Double starport at minute 3. Ay caramba. 2-port Battlecruiser? It's gotta be BCs, right? Like Banshees would just be a bit too crazy. I love it. I mean, if we are a big underdog, we gotta be a bit crazy. We gotta be willing to take some chances. And why not go double starport BC? I didn't even know that that was happening. Well, if I'm done casting, guys, I don't know what time it should be, and I'm somehow still awake. Like, yeah, I do love Canelo. I'm not a boxing expert. This is a big scout, by the way. We have to see if Serral is going to see everything or not. He sees A-gas. Following camera, Serral's position. His camera position for a little bit. I don't know if I have to pay extra for it or not. Like, I love boxing, but I don't know if I really want to spend like 20 or 30 bucks watching one fight. I assume that DAZN has it in the Netherlands, but... Alright, Serral has seen the first starport. Serral will see the fusion core and the second starport, and this is really bad news for Bunny. Because this is one thing that you don't want as a Terran. It's that the Zerg gets the confirmation early that this is happening. Now Serral will probably get a spore every single mineral line, and maybe even like 2 backup spores, like 1 between the natural and the main, and 1 between the natural and the third base. And obviously non-stop queen production. I'm surprised that Bunny only had a single marine there, to be fair, because it's very hard to deny any overlord scouting if you only have 1 marine. It almost seemed like he was a tiny bit worried about Serral doing something very crazy aggressive early on, with more links, more banes, but this is bad news for Bunny. Thank you, Astrones matey, for the 56 months tier 3. What a legend. We still have a whole bunch of tier 3 subbies out there. You guys are goated. Drones, queens, and aspire. A 16 worker lead for Serral is about to become a 20 worker lead. Current queen count, guys, is 8. And here comes the dog. Okay, I do like the position he went for, because now you basically force queens to be on the low ground, and then you can just rotate into the main base immediately. It's also a little bit annoying for the queens to like find the right position to attack. But yeah, it is double spore here. I don't know if BCs want to go for the spore or not. They will go for one of them, transfused lance. Bunny is finding some damage, but with a build like this, you're never looking for some damage. You're looking for insane damage. Who gets the queen? Yamato is done in 10 seconds, so we can start gunning down a couple of ladies as well. You can also go for the spores, but there is now triple spore in the main. Ooh, he might lose a BC, he might lose a BC! Oh, Bunny. Not what you are looking for. As he was a bit too eager to make use of his Yamato, so he loses a battle cruiser to the queens. Honestly, I think we're pretty toast. Follow-up is just going to be bio. We've got 2 tanks, so 5 Rexes now, maybe just 8 Rex, Marine tank, and Prey. Hoping that our opponent is maybe overreacting a tiny bit. Our opponent is Serral. Serral does not overreact. Serral reacts accordingly. This actually is a little bit dangerous right now. Dangerous for Bunny. There is danger. As that tank was exposed, but turns around for a split second with the Medivacs, realizes that he didn't quite need them yet, so now he will still go out. Corruptus hunting down that battlecruiser. Seems like we jumped into the main. Is there potential in this double drop, guys? 11, 12 Marines. Might gun down a few Corruptus here. Corruptus are tanky though. Bunny has no armory, I assume? No. I also don't think Bunny's gonna get an armory. I think Bunny is gonna try to win this game with 1-1 Marine tank. Maybe we add some Liberators, but I don't know if that would make any sense against these Corruptors that are already out. 1 BC. He did fully repair his BC. Of course, because of the way that this game has played out, Serral is not going to have a mega quick hive like he very often does. As the Corruptors are now using Caustic Spray. We might need them at home though, because the Corruptors are going to be useful, guys, in gunning down that battlecruiser, but also putting some pressure on the Medivacs, making it a little bit harder for these Marines to get far forward. No armory, no 4th base. This really is it for Bunny. There's a lot of firepower in this army, to be fair. A couple fungals that Serral can work with. Serral looking for a fungal. The first fungal is good immediately. One of the tanks gets picked up on the low ground as well, and it seems like game 1 is just all Serral. The parade push is happening. We are rallying just like 8, 10, 12 Marines to the other side of the map, but the tank count is not that impressive. Looking at 4 tanks, you need those tanks to really put the pressure on the Roaches and the Ravagers. Not really feeling it. Not feeling it for Bunny. Absolutely feeling it for Serral though, even though Serral does still need to be a tiny bit careful. Because if multiple tanks start firing at once, things become scary. The BC have been picked up. I feel like teleport probably would have been ready. Tactical jump, if you want to be very exact. It's not impossible that Bunny makes something happen here, but every time the tanks get a bit closer, they just get picked off immediately by the Ravagers. Hive is down, but we don't have any Vipers. We don't really have any like Hive tech upgrades immediately, so we're not getting that much value out of this Hive. Serral is displaying a lot of patience, does not want to go down this ramp before he truly has to, does manage to get another tank, lands a fungal, but the Marine count is still quite high. The Hydra count is climbing, and there's 1-1 upgrades on both sides. What are they shooting at? The ladies. The Queen's doing a great job there, guys. Those Queens were amazing. They kept those Marines busy for a little while. That's actually going to give Serral the confidence to once and for all go down this ramp, get on top of the tanks. Wondering what those Marines were so busy at. Bunny knows there is no recovery from here on out. Without an armory, without a 4th base, without a lot of extra SCVs. There was really no point for him to sing this one out. He could have tried, but I don't think it would have gone anywhere. Nice hold by Serral. It actually got a tiny bit close at one point. And imagine if those Queens are not there. Imagine if the BCs would have gone unscouted. And they actually do a bit more damage. The Queen count is lower at first. Means it's harder to deal with the BCs. They start melting. Could have gotten scary, but in the end, it's just Serral doing Serral things. Yeah, losing that first BC. Like, he was obviously counting down the seconds until he had Yamato. We saw it on the right side of our screen. The moment it finished up, turned around, fired 2 Yamatos immediately. But, yeah, losing a freaking battlecruiser that early on obviously loses a lot of the potential. Because that follow-up push with 1 BC instead of, or 2 BCs instead of 1 BC probably plays out a little bit different too. Might force Serral to make a couple of extra Corruptors, and extra Corruptors is later Hydras that absolutely did have an impact. Perhaps less Ravagers, which would have made it harder to kill the tanks. Can't really lose a unit as expensive as the BC that early on. It's great to see Bunny in the playoffs though, guys, of one of the bigger events we'll have in the remaining bits of 2025. I always get a little bit sad when Bunny starts falling off a little and it goes quiet around him. I love getting hyped over Bunny. Because a Bunny in shape is, even if he's not the best Terran in the world, he's one of the most fun Terrans in the world to watch. And that is a hill that I'm willing to die on. Hello, RotterdaM. Happy Saturday, matey.
Round 2. Fight!
Here we go. Persephone for round 2. In the bottom left side, down 0-1. But I think we all enjoyed the build, even if the execution was not quite there. Representing Falcons, it is Bunny. And in the top left side of Basilisk, we are looking at the main base of your reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the world once more. It is Serral. I did not get to see a lot of the group stage games of this event, as I mentioned a few times. Yes, a lot of them took place between 9 p.m. and, I don't know, 6 a.m. And those were actually hours that I was either working or trying to fall asleep immediately until I had to show up again. I call myself a Liquipedia fan on moments like that. Similar to like what's happening with football whenever I'm doing Starcraft stuff. Obviously can't watch it live, but I follow all the scores. I do the same with Starcraft when I can't watch it live. I'm not surprised to see Serral look good. I think it's going to be hard for anyone to stop Serral in this tourney. I always believe in Reynor if he's in shape, and I think he showed that at EWC. Why Reynor still deserves that vote of confidence. Of course, Clem is 50-50. Serral can beat Clem, but Clem can absolutely beat Serral too. Like he recently did in the Big Brain Bouts number 100. We're going for a very quick third command center. I don't hate seeing this from Bunny. As I said before, Bunny's a man of extremes in series where he knows it is very hard to just do his thing and win. And potentially gearing himself up for a very deadly 3-base attack. I don't know how much you guys have seen lately of BattleMech in this matchup, but it was obviously all the talk during the Esports World Cup. It was cyclones, cyclones, cyclones all the way. I don't know, maybe the crowd that's complaining about Protoss is just a whole lot louder than the crowd that's complaining about BattleMech. Serral, by the way, has a serious amount of links. This is 14 Zerglings with speed right now against 1 Marine. Oh no. It's 1 Marine against 14 links. This is not even a full wall, because I think Zerglings can actually attack that Marine. Oh my god. No, no, no. Bunny, bunny, bunny. Ay caramba. I mean, greed is good, but we may have been pushing it a little bit here, as that is not even a wall off. 14 links make their way into the main base, and we are now looking at 15 dead SCVs, and we are nowhere near done yet. The 2 Marines show up a little bit too late. The Hellion is on the wrong side of the wall as well, just to make things go even worse. And yeah, that is. Oh my goodness. But what is this wall, Bunny, man? I love you, but what on earth is this wall? I saw this Marine standing here, I was like, it looks like there is surface area on that Marine. Disaster. It's not a Zealot. I mean, even a Zealot has a tough time dealing with 14 links, to be fair, but yeah, a Marine has an even tougher time. Well, that's a shame, because I would have loved to see Bunny get like a bit of a greedy economic lead and like show up with a really big army that makes it difficult for Serral to make all the right choices, and you know, where he's forced to fight an even larger army than you normally expect to see at minute 7 or 8. And just like that, Serral takes the 2-0 lead and is 1 map away from giving us the first 3-0 of the day. Now, before that previous series, I said it would have been nice if Vicky showed up in the break. Well, maybe if she shows up soon, I can still win in a break. Just after the 3rd series of the day instead of the 2nd. That was a proper bad wall. I don't play Terran, but if I did, I'd probably believe that would work for me. And even if instead of that 14 links, if that's 8 links, you're also in trouble. Even against 6 links, it becomes a bit annoying, but maybe then you can buy enough time, or at least you can re-well. Hello, Josh. Happy Saturday, matey. We are in the 3rd of 6 best of 5s today. We're going to do the 4 opening best of 5s, and then the 2 matches of the upper bracket. We know the first fixture, and that is a fun one. It is Classic versus Clem once more. The second one could very well be a ZVZ between Serral and a Bunny. But before somebody gets angry and says, Ronnie, sound just beat Reynor. I know he did. I know he did. I saw game 5 on link lines, but let me get excited, okay? I just love it when our boys go at it. Top left side. Let's hope game 3 goes a little bit better than the first 2, because it hasn't quite been prime Bunny yet. Our Korean Terran from Falcons Bunny. Hello, Alex. On bottom right side, representing BASILISK, speedrunning the best of 5 a little. Game 1, he had to work for it. Game 2, well, we made 14 links with speed. And our opponent had 1 Marine, no wall. And that's problematic. This is BASILISK Serral. Of course, always rooting for BASILISK players, but I'm also rooting a little bit for Bunny, just to make this a tiny bit closer. And give all of you guys the excitement that you're looking for when you're tuning into Starcraft. And I think people in general, even if you are a really big Serral fan, you love close series. And you love seeing Serral come out on top, but also work for it. Yeah. And honestly, I don't want to make it seem like that was his peak, but it feels that mentally it's always been very tough for Bunny to recover from losing that grand finals. I think he was so close to realizing one of his dreams, winning a big international StarCraft 2 offline event, run of a lifetime, passionate crowd, a mega close grand finals against Hero. And it makes me a little sad to say, and I'm not saying this in a mean way obviously, but I really feel like it's the last time that I truly saw the very best of Bunny. After that, he fell off rather quickly because I think he had a hard time motivating himself at first. And then, yeah, he played a few games here and he played a few games there, but he never truly got close to making it to another finals of an international offline event. Even, of course, missed out on making it to the Esports World Cup this year. Which I feel that the Bunny that made it to the Grand Finals back then would not miss out on making it to the Esports World Cup. You'd have to work for it, because top 18 in the world is something that's obviously very hard to accomplish. But he would have made it. This is actually going to be a little bit annoying for Bunny, who has not scouted at least in time. He's got a Reaper that's on the other side of the map. Well, now he is in danger of losing an SCV. He's not in danger of losing the command center. He'll be fine. But this is already a significant delay on the command center. Now, I follow a lot of things, mate. I do not follow European basketball. Maybe it's because we suck at it, man. This is a lot of damage, guys. It is 2 SCVs going down, and it might even be a third SCV going down. 3 SCVs and a delayed command center. Yeah, you're not loving life here if you're Bunny. I really don't have any opinions. I don't know. I didn't know Turkey was actually good in basketball. But I guess some of the Eastern European countries like Serbia and I don't know who else is good. I guess their NBA stars do not get off for this, right? So no Doncic, no Jovic. I guess Germany is the favorite, but I really don't know much about it. And I don't want to be mean, but I don't care too much about that stuff. I care about all sports, but European basketball is not one of them. Bunny now maybe gearing up with something among the lines of Hellbat Marauder. But yeah, it's going to just be a lot weaker than it was supposed to be. And it's going to hit a little bit later than it's supposed to be. Because we had a significant delay on our natural. And then we lost 3 SCVs. Max is winning this year right now. Max is not... I mean, there is a small chance. If the McLarens are very good in driving into each other, there is a small chance, but the odds of winning the World Championship for Max are around like 100 to 1. I obviously don't mean it like that, Blaze, but I don't find it nice when people are excited over something and they want to talk to me about something and I'm just sitting here like, no, I don't really give a shit. Like, it makes you come across like a bit of a dick. But I know that it's obviously not a crime to not follow literally everything that everyone else follows. I think it's nice that people share their passions with me. Sorry that I don't always share the same passion. Thank you, didn't comment for the 26 months. Is all the Hellions going to make it to the other side of the map? The armory is done. So we've got a landed Viking. We've got 3 Marauders. We've got 8 Roaches on the side of Serral. And a bunch of Queens. Keep the medevac healthy, Bunny. If you have a tiny chance in making something happen here, the medevac needs to stay healthy. And so far it is healthy. I feel like the Roach count is just so freaking high already. We've got Zerglings counterattacking on the other side of the map as well. We've got Zerglings in the main base. It's not just Serral defending this push to perfection. It is Serral putting a number on the SCVs in the main as well. And just like that, we have watched one of the shortest best of 5s that you are going to see. I don't want to say in the history of Starcraft, because we've probably seen shorter ones with cannon rushes and whatnot, but I do think this will officially be the shortest best of 5 in the entirety of the Maestros of the game. Because Serral does Serral things, he shows up, and if you guys are disappointed, don't worry, Serral is going to have to play again. The last best of 5 of the day will have Serral versus the winner of our next best of 5. And the next one is a very, very close one on paper. It is a Reynor versus Zaun. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, Zaun beat Reynor 3-2. So I expect this one to be very close. And I think whether it's Zaun winning or Reynor winning, that will always be closer against Serral than what we just saw. We went for the severe handicap in this series. Serral 3-0, a Bunny 1 map. You guys believe it was going to be a 3-0. And well, honestly, that was a 4-0. That was a 4-0.